This was one of Riccardo's most beautiful shows. It was really exquisite. The men's, the women's, the line. It was divine. Really proud of it.
It was his 111th catwalk show in 2 decades. After graduating from the prestigious Central St. Martin's, then honing his skills at Kocher, Nike and Puma, Italian designer Riccardo Tisci went on to direct haute couture at Givenchy, before taking the reins at the English powerhouse Burberry in 2018. For the backdrop for his latest collection, comprised of menswear looks and women's ready-to-wear, he chose a breathtaking church.
For me, today, don't get me wrong, is religion as a religion is something very important. But religion does not mean only Catholic, Buddhist. It's not that. Religion is the belief, the hope that we all have in a better world. And these beautiful, strong women, powerful but correct, walking as aristocratic rebellion women on tables. And the fact that everybody look at it like up and see the clothes but respect the woman was very important.
It's a question all designers have to answer. How to celebrate a brand's sartorial DNA while also injecting something new each time. For Riccardo Tisci, the answer is always to deconstruct.
You know, Burberry, what it done is, and it's still an outwear company, but then for me I went much bigger on the pictures. I went to much more on the Britishness and on what is England for an European person. And for me, England is like the aristocracy, so the evening, the party. In London is all full of like all this celebration. Every weekend is a cocktail party and things. But at the same time, so you have like the, let's say, the aristocracy and then very like blue blood situation. And you have like the rebellion, you have the punk, the skinhead, you have all that in England. And it's part of the Britishness. So for me, this collection is pretty much represent that. I made evening dress, so I made evening dress out of like, you know, other cotton, gabardine, trench. Then I made evening dress on quilting. So basically I mixed the two things. I mixed the rebellion with aristocracy because Burberry does represent this country.
Riccardo Tisci was born in the southern Italian port city of Taranto in 1974. His father died when he was just 4 years old, and he was raised by his mother and 8 sisters.
Today, I can celebrate, I can talk as a man with maturity of 20 years of work. But when I started, example, my career at Givenchy, I remember people, they couldn't understand me because I didn't invent hot water. It was not me to discover anything, but it was me that brought back, in a moment where everything was glamour, I brought back the street and the couture. So couture, you develop couture in a brain of a kids that always dream to be better, to be successful, a dreamer. And the Pret-a-Porter, I was the first one, and I'm not saying first one in history, first one brought it back. The streetwear, because when I was at Givenchy and I became successful, I didn't forget where I come from. I come from a council flat, and I come from a very poor family. So for me, it was very important that I had a jumper, a t-shirt, a trainers, and bags, anything that people, young generation could buy. Doesn't matter, you know, people that like to use these words luxury, people that like to use these words young generation. I don't like that. For me, what I'm trying to build is a very democratic collection that's for everybody and for every type of body, every type of belief and mentality and ethnia, and be able to share the dream with everybody without excluding anybody in this dream. So for me, that was the most important things in this collection. That was very strong. So to answer your question, I do inspire my childhood because I never forget where I come from.
Yohji Yamamoto also mines his childhood for inspiration. When he lived in Tokyo's red light district, he was shocked at how the women wore stilettos all day long. Yamamoto's shoes are resolutely flat, paired with looks that merge different influences and fabrics.
One idea, yes. I just wanted to mix working jeans fabric and 18th century haute couture, chiffon, silk chiffon.
Staying in an equally opulent Parisian setting with French label KOCHE. In the past, this space was used as the backdrop for shows from the likes of Yves Saint Laurent. For Christelle Kocher, it's the perfect expression of a new vision of urban style.
It's a desire to revisit this idea of couture, but with poetry, comfort, with beautiful brocades, with jersey, with mesh, cashmere or wool. It's about being enveloped, comforted. It's an optimistic message that's carried by all these beautiful young people who come from all over the world to be together. And it's a beautiful thing.
In both London and Paris, next winter's ready-to-wear collections are lavishing modern twists on tried and tested classics and embracing diversity along the way.